good morning. I actually decided to go ahead and saddle with the stock saddle this morning because we know she needs practice with that. I'm going to work her first this morning. I just watered. I'm going to let her lope around and carry her saddle. And I'm going to do all the mounted block work with the saddle and then just put some weight in the stirrups. And I may actually work her again later today with the little pad since I will be moving soon. So anyway, and if I put the pad on, then I'll get on and I'll move her feet. And I'll take another video. I'm going to try to keep this video shorter today and like edit into 2 chunks, maybe, just because I'm having heck uploading yesterday's record-breaking 45-minute lesson video. So anyway, tech problems, but I'm going to interrupt this at some point just before uploading these. All right, let's get started. I have not moved her feet. I just groomed her, picked her feet, and saddled her. When you guys come on Friday, I would like to talk about picking feet every day. It's a boring but really important activity. Good horsemen fix the horse's feet frequently, every single day of their lives, but frequently. And I would like to show you guys a pretty easy anti-thrush treatment that I use every time I pick their feet. It's just a powder. It's very gentle, but it's very effective. And I have learned more about thrush and the fact that there's what they call dry land thrush, which doesn't present like we would think, like sticky and black and stinky. But I will show you in her feet, and I'll show you in any of mine too. We can look, it's very common, but this powder really helps. Anyway, I will talk to you guys on Friday. I'm going to go ahead and ask her to move her feet. So I'm going to tighten my cinches again before I send her around. Always double check your cinches before you send any cold out on your lunge line or your round pen. If they're going to have a come apart, you really want that saddle to stay put. So check your cinches before you send them out and around you. Cool. Good. Okay. All right, now, next step before I send her out and around, clear mental image. What's this going to look like? I want her to go forward with rhythm. I want her to keep her eye on me on the inside, and I want an ear cocked at me. That's what I want it to look like. This is pretty nice. Now, clear mental image. What happens as I add energy, and she starts to get humpy if she does. I am going to redirect. I'm going to try to do some turns. I may stop and back. I'm going to try to interrupt her bucking if she bucks today. But I may also try to anticipate it just by redirecting her if she looks humpy. She doesn't look humpy. She looks great. She looks nice, rhythmical, love it. And energy up, energy down. Grade 1 circling skill actually doesn't even include a canter. Because we want to get her under saddle, I do want to see a canter before I get on her. And actually trust that I'm going to ask her to move her feet, and she's going to regulate herself even if the energy goes up. And she surprises herself and suddenly, going forward fast. Is she going to get really excited, or is she going to let me bring her in a one-main stop? So, again, grade 1, round skills, circling is walk and trot. So, that was really nice this direction. I'm actually going to reverse and walk trot the other direction before I ask for a canter. I am going to bump up to grade skill 2, canter circles, because any horse who's ready to be ridden should be ready to, should be able to do grade 1 stuff, ready to go into 2, possibly into 3. If you want to build a really great foundation, do all the ground skills up to 3 before you do grade 1 riding. We're not going to do that. We don't have time. We're giving her a lot of different skills, a lot of different ways for her to understand. Good. Good. How to manage herself when she feels worried about life. Good. I love that she did not sip my phone there. I was just going to go over her today. And that wasn't pretty, but it wasn't insane. It's fine. Good. Interrupted it. Really finally interrupted the buck maybe that we could be done. I also, again, think about getting ready to ride her. She needs to be very comfortable. She needs to be very comfortable with me back here where I'm going to ride her from, right? My voice and all my energy and my touch and whatever's happening in the saddle back here, she needs to get really comfortable with that. So that's why I'm put over here to interact with her. Again, I want her to feel good. Give her some nice soft pats. Really reassure her. And send her around again. Good. Good. And what happened, right? She started to fade toward the gate. So I'm going to keep her in a smaller circle to the left. And we're going to do the left again. Great. 1. Walk, trot circles. It fell apart before we get a nice change of direction. So I'm going to go back to it. Good. Good. Walk. Good. Whoa. Good. This time I'm going to walk in. Same thing. Good. I'm going to roll her here at the wither. I couldn't see that before, but this is where I petted her. Pet the neck. Pet her back here. Get her more comfortable with your touch everywhere. Good. All right, now I'm going to use the grade 1 skill. I'm going to yield these shoulders. I know this was not her good side. It's a good check-in before I think about getting on this horse. Good. Nice. Good. That shows nice mental connection, physical connection. Really nice turn. Very good girl. Now let's find our walk, trot circles this way. Good. I'm going to keep her a little smaller because let's look at my body language. She's thinking about leaving or walking. I'm going to set her between the door and I'm going to stay here now. Good. Good. Again, clear mental image. I kept moving. I realized I needed a clear mental image of where the circle was going to happen. And there it is. Really nice. Walk. Nice trot circle. Don't forget walk. Walk is actually more difficult than trot because it's a controlled energy. But she's doing great. Good. Whoa. Whoa. Now if you notice me kind of grounding myself, I keep moving my feet and I kind of tip my pelvis. I look like I'm trying to stop. Whoa. And if I need to, I'm going to move my feet to block the horse. But I can also use a lot of my aids to bring that horse to a stop once I use that word, boom. I'm exaggerating there, but don't forget, embody what it is you're asking that horse to do. When you say stop, make a very grounded body language. When you say move your feet, make it clear. So, I'm going to change ground skills here. I'm going to ask her to check out that tire system here. Love it. Good girl. Good. Good girl. She left though, right? So just have a chance to send her back that way. Get a little control of the feet. Whoa. Good. Good voice control there. Ask her to put her head down and look at it. You'll notice today I am much further back. I'm closer to 10 feet than 5. Good. She's still not really investigating it. Good. And I just want to be able to send her there. So check it out. What is that thing? Good. Good. Using 2 things here. Wiggling the rope to get her head and neck to drop. Using a little wiggle of my stick. Good. Very good girl. Using a little wiggle of my stick over here to kind of block her leaving, right? She wanted to go this way. I made a little extra energy and pushed her. All right. A+. I'm going to go in here to the saddle again. Whoa. Gotta be loud. Just kind of that drunken monkey energy when we're getting ready to ride them. Just making sure that they know that's nothing to be concerned about. And then I'm petting her so soft and rhythmically. Even while I wiggle the saddle and jump around, my hand that's touching her is very soft. All right, we're going to go to our figure 8 puzzle. Good. Nice sideways yield there. I'm going to send her through here. Good. Good. Nice little trot. I'm going to change my gaze around. Very nice. Walk. Walk. The elbow turn with the toe, and I'm trying to kind of guide every foot. Oh, dang it. Back, back. Coming back to my place. We talked about this a lot of rope. You can see how you might just need this much rope, depending on how your horse is doing and where you're at in the drill. Okay, tell her, please go that way. Good. And then go in there. Good. Push her out there. Woo, tip over the tripod. Good. Good. That should be to the right tripod. There she goes. Over here. She knows that's coming off and we're running off. So, we fix this. She's blocking me with her head there. I needed to get control of the head. She's blocking me with the shoulder. I bumped her with the handle of my whip. Good. Good. Right, we'll come back to our puzzle. Good. 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 Very good. 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 Well, we're going to advance quite quickly. You can't run this drill for many levels, but as long as she doesn't run for my home, I won't really direct her. As long as I can direct that energy, then it's just going to be a good warm-up. Good. Good. And look where I want her to go. Use my tools effectively. Don't close the toe there. I kind of snap the air above the toe and up. And that was actually me. I sent her on sort of in my body. And I'm going to back up. You guys need the toes. So, that's good. Thank you. Thank you. Good. 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 That was pretty brazy at the base and back up, so I stayed at least at a 2. Now, what happened? Her hips spun around. Another grade 2 exercise we have not yet talked about, yielding the hip. Send that hip back where it was, and back where it is. Good. Good. Lick and chew. Back to it. And she's not enjoying this drill, and that's okay. I'm letting the pattern work, in a sense, because I can have all these difficult conversations in a halter, deal with all these attitudes and outbursts on the ground, and by the time I can ask her to do this pattern nicely, and she just goes with rhythm, good. She will be pretty safe to ride. Good. 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 Very good. 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 Backing is a grade 1 exercise. I was pretty commanding there, asking her just to yield off my energy, getting my energy really big with my stick and my rope. I believe in grade 1 you can still use feel, which is holding on to the halter of the horse, instead of energy, which might be a very fine line. So the stick was energy because I wasn't actually touching her. It was making sound and visual stimulus. So anyway, backing is an important skill, really important skill. Also, a great way for a horse who is worried about their saddle to push up into that saddle and then relax about it without bucking. Bucking is another great way to push into that saddle. Backing is what we'd like to use. So that's why the backup is an appropriate and helpful correction, especially with a cinchy horse. I used to avoid backing, but now I think it's very helpful. Good. Good. All right, we're going to go for a nice smooth walkthrough. Good. I had to flicker a rib there. She almost stepped on the cone again. I'm really trying to be intentional about not crowding the cone myself. Thank you. Good. Good. And by that I mean not sending her there myself. I'm really trying to have a clear mental image of her giving that cone about to the space. Thank you. Good. Good. That's a nice one. That's very thoughtful. Good. Good. Yeah. A little bit of a runaway there. That happens on this side. Right? This side is definitely not quite as connected. Good. 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 That was better. Run away. A little bit closer to home. Oh, but you know what? In this, for the sake of uploading ease, I think we're going to call it good. Really like that. I'm going to control grief this little bit less gentle side. You see the startle response? I touched her very lightly. I did not clap my hand on her, but I did touch her where she can't see my hand. Right here. So anyway, use your rewards intentionally as a trainer. How and when and where you connect with that horse, how your touch feels when it gets there, that matters a great deal. All right. I will pause this, grab my helmet, and we'll resume.